level you reach, you're going to come against obstacles. And you have to combat those obstacles in order to move forward. It's almost like playing a video game. You know what I mean? And then the prize is your sanity. Work.
All right, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you at home? Why you put on your red jersey though?
I don't know. I'll let change it up. Yeah. Because it's not Drake night. It's not Drake night yet. We gonna get nah. We gonna get them ready for the Warrior. Oh snap! I gotta take this.
The crowd is assembled at the Air Canada Center, looking for a Raptors victory here in Toronto. And we've got it live right here on 2K Sports. Looking at Toronto, they want to turn it around after the loss to Chicago. And it's going to be the pace. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Indiana, Hill is up there with Ellis. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Allen. And it's Mahimi in the pivot, manning the middle. Just four. Four to shoot. Here's Allen. A baseline J. Good. He hits the jump shot.
Good make to get things underway.
Yeah, and always a relief, I think, to get those first points out of the way and actually get that first sweat and that first bit of contact in the game because it just settles you down a little bit.
And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania Club, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with his combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Now here's Scola. And again, Toronto no up. First quarter, about a minute and a half in.
Oh my Lord.
It's stolen by Carroll. And they're running. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. That one on George. I'm sure you guys have heard this, that the nickname that has been given to DeMarre Carroll, the Junkyard Dog, I think it's apropos. Kid drafted out of Missouri back in the 2009 draft.
Yeah, and he actually had to show perseverance to hang around as he bounced around a bit. But I think he's found a home now.
And George, here we go. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. To the right wing. Carroll dishes to Valanciunas. Blanketed by the D. Fights to the rim for the layup.
And Carroll, an energy player who's developed a reliable three-point stroke. I mean, he can also hurt you in transition. He's got terrific size and athleticism, and he also really knows how to play without the basketball.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Offensive rebound. Scola, no up. Pacers leading by 4. Ellis with it. Lowry picks him up. Ellis kicks to Allen. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
And Carroll, by advanced stats, one of the most productive small forwards in our league. I mean, one thing I like, even as he's developed into a three-point threat, he still has an instinct for cutting to the rim off the ball when his defender turns his head. I mean, one of the things I think that allows his team to be so good is his understanding of how to play the game.
On the pass to Ellis. He feeds it to Allen. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And Toronto called for the foul. And these are his second and third free throws tonight.
Well, he didn't exactly light it up from the free throw line a season ago. Shot right around 70%.
And Toronto will go for a different look here. Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Johnson comes in for Luis Scola. Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMar Carroll. And Corey Joseph subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. Turner's checked in for Allen. Stuckey kicks to Turner. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Turner's got his first basket of the night.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
And it's Miles missing.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is. And maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there.
Derrick Rose need the coach.
That's an easy basket.
White, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. Johnson goes in. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Johnson's got his first 2 points.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
It's stolen by Hill. Here's Miles. Basket is good. The assist from Stuckey.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
So, timeout called here. The first for Toronto.
You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
The Raptors making a switch here. Nogueira's checked in. And he gets the bucket. Johnson's got his second basket of the game. Stuckey into the lane. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. An interesting thing about George Hill, he was traded from the Spurs to the Pacers a few years back. Many people were surprised the Spurs would even trade a valuable veteran when they were trying to win a championship. But who did they trade him for? Kawhi Leonard. Pretty good deal.
Well, you know, Hill is really solid. He knocks down open shots. He more play off the ball equally well. I think he's a terrific combo guard. Gives you a little bit of everything and does it in a professional way. And that's typically what attracts him to other teams.
This nigga Greatness got a creative play on his court, huh?
Second free throw, good. There's 37.
They got a my play on the court.
Stuckey outside. Pick up by Hill. Stuckey passes to Hill. From deep, Miles. Nogueira pulls it in. Raptors trailed by 10. Passes it to Joseph. And again, no good by Toronto. Stuckey outside. The feed to Turner. Pick up by Hill. With one on the clock.
Oh, the Marcus 48.
And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. first quarter, it's been pretty lopsided. Pacers out in front, up 10. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Jamari Carroll is out there with Scola. And it's Valanciunas in at the 5 down low. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. And the foul on Jonas Valanciunas. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
The Pacers making a switch here. Allen's checked in. George, no good.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Here's Valanciunas. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with the soft touch to make.
And it's Miles missing. Raptors trailed by 5. And DeRozan. Here we go. Lowry kicks to Carroll. To the paint. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
Hill, he's checked in for Indiana. Toronto calls timeout.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. And again, no good by Toronto.
And for Kyle Lowry, last season was full of milestones. First, he signs the big contract extension for 4 years. Then he earns his first ever All-Star selection. Unfortunately, didn't finish as strong with the postseason, but a terrific year.
That was crazy, bye. This nigga was wide the fuck open, son. 2K get on my nerves, B. They made the nigga catch the ball. Son, I threw it to George Hill in the corner. They made him catch it facing it out of bounds. And then this nigga was able to recover to get a block, son. Like, this shit's stupid, son.
Lowry's got his third bucket of the night. And in the traffic of Lowry, he became only the third Toronto Raptor ever to be voted into the All-Star game.
Yeah, you know, Bosch and then
crazy.
Sanity to the other two. Lowry also participated in the All-Star Weekend Steals Chapel. Man, he's been outstanding as a point guard.
And a tenacious leader for the Raptors. Now here's DeRozan. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. That's in, and the Pacer lead is cut down to 1 on the bucket from Carroll.
A nice run they put together here to bring it a little closer.
Yeah, they got hot. I didn't think I'd be saying this a little while ago, but now this game's up for grabs.
Mahinmi dishes to Hill. And George kicks to Ellis. Indiana needs to get a shot off. And there's Paul George on the assist by Ellis. George has got 5 points so far. Here's Valanciunas. It's rebounded by Indiana. They've led by as many as 11 points. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%, and that, my friends, is improved efficiency.
And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. Indiana also making some changes. Turner's checked in for Mahimi. Hill comes in for Allen. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Monte Ellis. Pacers leading by 4.
You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his post game. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense.
Here's George. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, he had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
Off the pick. Here's Hill. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Pass to Ross. Joseph dishes to Johnson. His 3-pointers off the mark. The Pacers have yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
And their free throw percentage as a unit last year, 76%, right around the middle of the road.
Shooting 100% in the quarter. They've made them all, taking full advantage at the line.
I tell you what, nice job making the most of their opportunities.
C.J. Miles, he's checked in for George Hill. Now here's Valanciunas. And again, Toronto no luck. A chance at a 2 for 1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Miles. Nice D from DeRozan.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
And here is Stuckey. At the top of the key, Turner. Tries again. And it is good at the buzzer. And so that brings the first half to a close. Pacers lead by 7. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports. Welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. One of the stories here, Kyle Lowry getting it done today.
Yeah, he's playing just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments.
Kyle Lowry had a good quarter. 10 points. He's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of three-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
On the court for Indiana. Paul George is out there with Allen. Then there's Ellis. Then it's George Hill. And it's Mahinmi in the center, filling out the middle. Now here's Ellis. Following the miss by DeRozan. Just his first attempt. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Ellis has got the first points of the second half here for the Pacers.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second-round draft picks of all time in the league, not just the last decade. I mean, this guy was a five-star recruit out of high school, committed to college, but changed his mind and entered the draft, where the Warriors stole him with the 40th pick in 2005.
And George, here we go. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his bag. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Toronto calls timeout. And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to do it.
Raptors trailed by 9. Lowry has the open look. And again, Toronto with the triple.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that he can afford to give.
Ellis again. It's DeRozan. Ellis goes in. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
For Monte not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monte's was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monte deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. Not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monte was to the Mavs. Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style for him.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
And the Pacers call time here. And guys, we saw a nice development for James Johnson last year. He was 59% from the floor. Closest he had ever come to that in his 6 years was 46%. What a dramatic mark improvement there.
Yeah, and I think it was all due to shot selection. He dialed back on the number of threes that he was taking the year before, and his percentage went up.
Some changes for Toronto. Nogueira, he's checked in for Biyombo. And it's DeRozan in for Corey Joseph.
And back to James Johnson. Yeah, he improved his shooting percentage, but the rest of his game has been kind of in a holding pattern. He's averaging neither highs nor lows in any other category, and that means to me he may have flattened out in terms of reaching his potential.
That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. 9 points for Johnson.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 may come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Talking about James Johnson, the reality is he's a role player. Like most NBA guys, he certainly can be a valuable role player, especially if he can shoot near 60% from the field again. But don't expect him to suddenly become LeBron. That's not his game, nor his ceiling. Just absolute domination in this one for Allen. He has 11 points, and the contribution from the line for him, he's made 5 free throws.
I mean, he hasn't been afraid to draw a little.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
DeRozan passes to Johnson. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around. Now just a 2-point Pacer lead. And George, here we go. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Indiana making some changes. Hill, he's checked in for Mahina. C.J. Miles comes in for Allen. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for George Hill. Lowry kicks to Nogueira. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. You got me thinking back to my day.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Well, speak for yourself, because I could never throw it down like that, but I will say it sure looks fun, doesn't it?
And it's Johnson penetrating. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And it's George missing.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
It's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. The Raptors making a switch here. Valanciunas is checked in. The Pacers also changing it up. Turner comes in for George. Robinson is subbed in for Monte Ellis. And the Raptors call time here. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished. Struggled to handle the ball. Created then his own shot. And but sometimes he would create for others too. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the 2. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Patterson, he's checked in for Johnson. White comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a spit shine on his offense. Over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
And, you know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014. Was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal.
Kicks to Hill. Stuckey into the lane.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Indiana.
A lot of times when they needed some easy points in this game, they've been able to get to the foul line and get them.
I've been impressed with how well they penetrated tonight, too.
And right, here we go. Stolen by Miles.
Clearly a two.
That's a beautiful jam. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying hard to get back in this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
And Valanciunas penetrating.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Pick up by Hill. Here's the floater. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams doing well as we head to the fourth. It's the Pacers up by 8. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Center in downtown Toronto. And the final period of play just about to start. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Scola out there with Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Carroll in at the 3. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Lowry fires. Shot misses. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Moving it up. And it's blocked by DeRozan. And they're able to recover. Hill against Lowry. And George, here we go. Poked away. One thing about Kyle Lowry, he has a bulldog mentality. We saw that from his days at Villanova.
No question about that, and I love that about him. He's very simple, not really flashy, just consistently beats the rock. He wears his opponents down.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line. Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
It's DeRozan with the drive.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're
I
right.
tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it a little too easy.
There's the foul. It's on the Heat. That's his first foul. Raptors trailed by 6. Screen by Scola. To the wing on the left. Carroll, no one around him. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And talking about Lowry, going to Toronto was a godsend for him. I mean, he had clashed with a number of coaches early in his career. His hard-headedness had been working against him. But in Toronto, he learned how to buy into a system and save the wrath for his opponent.
Scola with a clean look. The 15-footer, good. Timeout called the Pacers.
And for Louis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career, then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Frank Vogel addressing his team. His message? I don't want us patting ourselves on the back just yet. We can congratulate ourselves after the final horn. Right now, we need to go out there and take this one home. Guys?
Like you were talking about Scola, he has the physical skills, Clark, to make a difference.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's not spectacular in anything, but he's really solid in just about everything. A pro's pro, and he adds value, tremendous value to any team he's on.
And DeRozan, here we go. And the first one at the line is good. DeMar DeRozan hits them both.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead. I tell you what, you don't want to allow too many of those kinds of baskets with the game on the line.
This is when the defenders really have to protect the basket. You need to be in sync as a unit defensively.
Well, they found the touch here in the second half from the field, and everything else we talk about, folks, rebounding, defense, all of that, this game is still about making shots. You got to put the ball in the basket. That's the bottom line, and they found a way to do it here in the second half.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Now the dish to Hill. Feeds to Mahimi. He kicks it to Ellis. Left side, George. Here's Allen. The shot will not go. Excellent D there for Scola. Paul George with the steal. Ellis dishes to Hill. Valanciunas again. Ellis. Outside for George. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. George has got 20 points.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Toronto calls timeout. Paul George really making a difference here.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
James Johnson's checked in for the Raptors. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Indiana. Raptors trailed by 4. The drive by Lowry. Here's Valanciunas.
And guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G.A. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
Here's Johnson. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Indiana's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Hill gets to George. Good. The assist goes to Hill. 23 points here for George.
Confident and composed on the 3-point shot at a critical jump.
And that one's good. 16 points for Johnson.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
George against Carroll. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's foul number 2 for him.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
55 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Just 5 on the clock. From deep, Miles. They get it back. Outside, George. The shot is off. Nice lead from Valanciunas. So it's Toronto. A 2-point game. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game. On DeRozan, pitch to Valanciunas. To tie it up. It's off.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
He hits the first one, and that narrows the gap to 1. And it's tied up with that one.
He's really the guy you want on the stripe in that situation. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's clutch.
And the Pacers call time here. Outside. Over to the wing. Here's Miles. Time expires, and we're going to overtime. And we'll return shortly. Well, if you're just joining us, this one has been a great one. We've got overtime action now, folks. And it's going to be the Pacers off the tip. And always a good ride in these post-regulation battles. This overtime now looking to be an exciting one. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for Indiana, Hill and Miles team up in the backcourt. Mahimi is out there with Hill. And it's George in the small forward. And the call will be against George Hill. That's his third foul of the game. The Pacers making a switch here. Allen's checked in. Lowry passes to Valanciunas. It's stolen by Mahimi. Here's George. Good. The assist goes to Hill. And now it's up to 25 points here for George.
And I love the fact that he didn't try to take on the defense by himself. Great pass on the move.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
George having a fantastic 25 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
And one action in this one. We're about 1 minute into overtime. Here is Lowry. Shoots. He is hauled in by Paul George. George has got his third rebound tonight. And he gets it to go.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Carroll kicks to DeRozan. Lowry drives in. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Allen. Here's Mahimi. Rebound by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got 4 rebounds in this game. Mahimi's shot is good.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
It's Score with the drive.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Carroll against George. And the shot is good. The Raptors have gone 2 of 4 on their shots here in overtime. Lowry for 3. They grab their own miss. And Allen with the block. The 3 from George. Offensive rebound, Pacers. Goes back up. But they'll get another chance. Allen dishes to George. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. George has got 31.
Just too much of a deficit to overcome.
Just not enough clicks and ticks left on that clock in this one, Greg.
The shot by Carroll, no good. Mahinmi passes to George. The 19-foot shot misses the shot.
Yo, good game, greatness.
Picking up the win. They escaped with a victory, although they needed Clark an extra period to get it done.
Well, I think it was one heck of a ball game. Both teams gave great effort, and the bounces just went their way in overtime.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now we'll head over to the studio.
Good game, man.
Same shit happened. Only nigga that had a good game was Paul George. I mean, other niggas had solid games too, but niggas ain't really do nothing. Paul George, the only nigga. That's crazy. I don't understand that.
I gotta try this block, but this shit's not working.
Oh shit! I only took two field goals with Monte Ellis this game. It ain't feel like that. I did. $31. Lavoy Allen. 13. Yeah, but he shouldn't be my second leading scorer. When I played DA, he was my second leading scorer. Second game that shit happened. Okay, you ready now? Who else on? Making excuses. Kaza, you ready? Aw, man, niggas making excuses tonight, man. All this feeling shit like